Welcome to Success Power. We begin today with the story of Sam Walton, the founder of the Walmart stores in the United States. This young man helped with trading in his father's shop, and eventually he started his own shop. And with time, because he was innovative, he was creative, and he was especially willing to sell goods from popular brands at the lowest possible prices, his business grew at a very phenomenal rate. In fact, also somewhere along the line, he decided that he was going to take good care of his employees, because he said that happy employees are motivated employees and that they give their best to the organization when they are happy. So he began to share profit with his staff. He had that formula by which he shared the profit with his staff, so they made more money than their specified salaries. So eventually, the Walmart stores exploded all over the United States, and now they are even in a few other countries. Walmart has over 1,700 stores in the United States and around the world. And at a particular point in time, Sam Walton was the second richest man in the world, next to Bill Gates. Before he passed on in 1992, he had been variously referred to as the world's best businessman. But I essentially want us to pay attention to the impact that Sam Walton's businesses had on the economy of the United States, and then on the lives of individuals and families. See, when you are an entrepreneur, you are someone who creates products or services that meet needs in people's lives. You are, practically speaking, a problem solver. You solve problems for individuals. Of course, first of all, in the process, you solve some problems for yourself, but you solve problems for yourself while solving problems for people. You meet people's needs. You provide basic needs that people have, basic products that people have. You can't beat that. That really is the essence of being in business. In fact, solving problems for people is a better motive for being in business than just making money. If making money is your goal, your ultimate goal, once you have made money, you will lose your drive. A wealthy billionaire was asked why he's still building businesses even after he's become a billionaire, and he explained that for each person he employs, he knows that he's putting a roof over a family, he's helping to pay school fees for someone, and so on. So for him, it's an expression of generosity. And then, of course, think about the fact that all of the employees in your business will pay taxes to government, apart from the fact that the business itself will pay taxes from its profits. See, the world's best economies are run on businesses. And that's why I believe that our country is moving on to a new dimension, and you as an individual are moving on to a new dimension as we realize it is better for us to develop the mindset of an entrepreneur. Thank you for being a part of our broadcast today. We are discussing the topic, Be an Entrepreneur, after this break.
Success Power. Success Power.
I'm Sam Adeyemi, inviting you to join me on Success Power, a life-changing program designed to teach you the universal, time-proven, life-changing principles of success. Join me on Success Power on this station every week and experience transformation in every area of your life. You will succeed.
Success Power.
Welcome back. This is Success Power. And we're discussing the topic, be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone who creates products and services, creates systems that enables him to offer products and services that meet needs in people's lives. There are various reasons why you should consider being an entrepreneur. Now, I must clarify very quickly that those of us in the third world usually who are living in developing economies or underdeveloped economies, our definition of being in business may sometimes be different from that of people in the developed world. Being in business to a large extent in our environment means being close to someone in government and getting contracts from government. Now we must redefine being in business. When you are an entrepreneur, you create products, you create services that solve problems for the average person in the community. Now, that's very important. Now, I think that one of the most important reasons why you should consider being an entrepreneur is the fact that you build your wealth at a faster rate when your business works. It helps you to build wealth at a faster rate. You know why? The way employees earn and spend money is different from the way employers earn and spend money. The employee earns money, pays taxes, and then spends what is left. Okay, because usually the taxes are deducted from source, like we describe it. They're deducted by the company and paid straight to government. Okay, so employees earn money, pay taxes, spend what is left. Employers or business owners earn money, spend money, and then pay taxes on what is left. And that is absolutely legal. Of course, within reasonable limits. You see, because of the massive contribution that businesses and business owners make to our economy, the law encourages people to start and run businesses. So, when you're able to get your business to run well, the business is allowed to pick up the basic bills that the average person pays from their salaries. For example, the business, if it can afford it, if it's doing well, is allowed to take care of your transportation. You can have an official car, fully maintained by the organization. Your accommodation can be paid for by the organization. Your travels, your lunch dates can be paid for by the organization. In fact, sometimes even your vacation can be paid for by the organization. Your utility bills can be paid for by the organization. You see, those are bills that the employee has to pay after paying taxes from his or her income. But for you, as a business owner, the organization picks those bills to a large extent, and all of those expenses are still considered as part of the expenses of the organization. So it's after all the expenses have been taken out of the income of the organization that we have what is left called as a profit. And a part of the profit is meant to be shared by the owners of the business. And then a fraction of it is taken by government as taxes. Now, bear in mind that as the head of the organization, especially if you are the executive head, you still earn the highest salary in the organization. So all of the bills that the average employee caters for from their income, you don't have to pay, yet you get the highest income from the organization. So that gives you room to invest more and at a faster rate than the average person. So you can move faster towards financial freedom. I think that is a very important reason for going into business. Also, I know that a lot of people want job security, but owning a business of your own takes you faster on the journey to financial freedom. You see, financial freedom is for you to get to the point where you don't have to worry about money the rest of your life. That's it. And what does it mean? you have enough money in investment to yield interest that can pay your bills. In other words, you don't have to touch the capital. Just the interest on what you have invested is enough to pay your bills. With that, you have freedom. Now, most people want financial security, and they want to get it in a job, at least a job that holds the promise of being there for the next 3 decades, 4 decades, 5 decades, until people retire. Now, there is no security in security. You know why? If something goes wrong with the business, the person who is at the greatest risk is the employee. The employer won't be removed first. It's the employee that will be fired first, and then eventually the employer. And I should say this to you, when an employer sees that something is going wrong or business is about to fizzle out, they have a way of diverting their resources. Probably they own some other form of business. So it's the employee that is at the greatest risk. I say this, being an employer, being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, gives you the chance to move towards financial freedom at a faster rate. And then there's another reason why I think you should consider being in business. When you're in business, you create products and services that solve problems for people. I'll tell you what you get as a result: fulfillment. You see, when you sell clothes or you make clothes, you are solving a nakedness problem, the problem of nakedness for people in the community. When you cook food or you sell food, you're helping to solve the hunger problem. You sell drinks or water, you're helping to solve the problem of thirst. Okay, you set up a clinic, okay, a medical clinic, you're a doctor or a dentist, you're helping to solve health problems. That's important, isn't it? Okay, you are into construction, you construct roads, you're helping to solve transportation problems, you sell cars or you sell vehicles, you're helping to solve transportation problems, you set up schools, you run a school, a training institution, or you're helping to solve the ignorance problem in the society. So the key point is you are a problem solver. You are an asset to the society, not a liability. There's a level of fulfillment that brings that you cannot get anyhow else. You are helping to add value to people's lives and to raise the standard or the quality of life in the society. I think most of us need to give serious thought to the possibility of creating products and services that will solve problems in the environment. I'm speaking especially to those of us who are in the third world. When you are an entrepreneur, you begin to see problems as opportunities. I want us to know we may seem to have the greatest challenges in this world right now. We actually have the greatest opportunities. Rather than waiting for things to change by themselves, it's time for us to become creative, to become innovative. We have to break free from self-centeredness. You see, when you are raised in deprivation, you have the tendency of thinking only for yourself. You become desperate. You fight for survival. So all you're thinking about is how you can make it, how you can break through, how you can succeed. But interestingly, the laws of success do not work like that. You actually succeed when you help other people to succeed. So we need to break free from self-centeredness and begin to focus on ourselves and on our community and take responsibility for the community. If you think that you have a problem with nakedness or not having good enough clothes to put on, you need to understand that's how it is for almost everybody in the society. Now, why don't you turn around to be the one making clothes for people? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Just look around you. Look at all the challenges that we have. This is our opportunity, unique opportunity to solve problems for people. And I tell you, you've never known a higher dimension of success than you know or experience when you create solutions for people. Now, there's one other reason why I think you should give serious thought to being an entrepreneur. You create jobs. You create jobs, and I tell you, that is impactful. You create jobs for people when you start a business. That means that some people have the opportunity of adding value to other people's lives through their talents and their gifts and their skills. Secondly, they earn a pay. From that pay, they're able to take care of their families. Some people will be able to pay their children's school fees. Some will be able to take care of their health, and especially for their loved ones. They will be able to put a roof over their head. You're solving great problems for individuals, for families, but also for the community at large. When you create jobs for people, think about it. The person who is most vulnerable to crime is the person who does not have work to do. That's the person who is most susceptible to crime. When we don't have full employment in a society, the tendency for young people, for poor people to go into crime is very, very high. And you had better realize it. Government, under normal circumstances, cannot provide enough jobs for all the citizens in the country. It is private initiative. It is individuals like you and I who start businesses that will solve problems for the community, that provide the employment for other people. Now, one other important reason why you should consider starting a business of your own is the fact that you have control over your time. Think about it. When someone employs you, actually what the person is employing is your time. And usually, of course, the average employer should make 10 times the value of what they are paying you with the use of your time. So the possibility, therefore, is that when you work for yourself, you're likely to be able to make in 2 hours what you would have made working for somebody else in 8 hours. You can make money faster, but much more than that. See, there are other very important dimensions to your life that you may want to pay attention to. Different people have different values. Some of us value family. We value relationships, but we are stuck on jobs that take all of our time. We don't have the time to build relationships, to make investments in our spouses, in our children. And the family especially is disintegrating, and ultimately that will impact again on the quality of the society. But much more than that, you need to live a full life, a rich life. True success comes with a balance. So you're in control of your time. And remember, like I said earlier on, you pay less on taxes. There's room for you to make a whole lot more. What the government just ensures, what the law ensures, is that you put a whole lot of your funds in investment, so that while it is out there in the system, it can circulate and be a blessing to the whole community. That's it. As long as you keep most of your funds in investment, then the law protects you from excessive taxes, really. Now, I want you to also consider seriously the fact that the wealth of the government depends on your wealth and my wealth. You see, developed countries, wealthy countries, most of them are not built on natural resources. They are built on taxes. That's it. And the tax is a fraction of the income of citizens, which means if the citizens are not prospering, government cannot prosper. And I think that's a challenge that most of us in third world countries have to face. Many of our countries' economies are built on natural resources like diamonds and gold. That's why we even have wars, costly wars. They cost us money, cost us time, cost us human lives. Okay? Some of our countries depend on crude oil. But most countries in such a situation are still broke. So, we have to change the strategy for our prosperity and empower the average citizen to make money. So you and I are the ones who have to make the money and pay taxes to government. Our government will remain broke as long as you and I are not creating wealth. So you contribute to the wealth of the nation when you are an entrepreneur. That's a very, very important one. And maybe I should also add this, and it's very important. Somebody asks, Oh, do you mean that all of us should start and run businesses? Then who's going to work in those businesses? Well, I'm not suggesting that you cannot become prosperous by being an employee, but it depends on the kind of employee that you are. You see, these days you have people that you call entrepreneurs. And they are people who, though they still work in some organizations, they think like entrepreneurs. They create products, they create services. They have sound management skills, powerful leadership skills. They create new lines of business for the organizations that they work for. Organizations know they should not lose people like that. So I encourage that even if you're not going to start a business of your own, you must develop an entrepreneurial mindset, because it will help you to rise faster on the corporate ladder. See, the people who own the business where you work are entrepreneurial in their thinking. When you begin to think like them, your reasoning is at their level. You create ideas like them, they promote you quickly because you help to expand their business. Very important. I want you to give serious thought to it. If you are not yet an entrepreneur, if you are, your business is moving to a new level. If you aren't yet, get set, because this is your season to be blessed, especially financially, like you've never been blessed before. I'll be back after this break.
Success Power. Success Power.
I'm Adeyemi, inviting you to join me on Success Power, a life-changing program designed to teach you the universal, time-proven, life-changing principles of success. Join me on Success Power on this station every week and experience transformation in every area of your life. You will succeed.
Success Power.
Welcome back. This is Success Power, and we've been discussing on the topic, be an entrepreneur. And we've been discussing powerful reasons why you and I should consider starting businesses of our own. And mainly, the point is, that's the only way for us to build successful, prosperous, viable nations. Now, those of us in the third world especially should realize that businesses are run all over the world now, and they contribute immensely to the prosperity of their nations. The United States of America, for example, produces a new millionaire every 5 minutes on the average, and that is why it has a very powerful economy. And above all, the people who eventually get into public office are people who have been entrepreneurs before. As long as the people who get into public office in our countries are people who have never run businesses of their own before, or people who run businesses by getting contracts from government, they will not know how to structure our economy for the benefit of the citizen and for the empowerment of the citizen. Now let's ensure that it's people who have started and run businesses of their own well that get into government, because then they'll help us to structure our economy to empower the average citizen to make more money. And then a fraction of our income will be given to government as taxes, and we have prosperous nations. I see this is the dawn of a new day for you, for me, and for our nation. Thank you for being a part of our broadcast today. Keep on succeeding till we see you again next time. Bye for now.